Oh shit! Look who's back. Sturdy and the crew.
And we're late again.
Of course. This is how we roll.
Jason's not going to let you live. He's mad.
He'll be okay. We're only 3 minutes late. 3 minutes. Trace. Yeah, I know Spanish. Anyways, how's it going, people? What's up? I hope you're all doing amazing. Gentlemen, how are you doing? I'll start with you, Jason.
I am doing well. Well, very, very well.
I'm going to take you at your word on that, Jason.
I am doing great.
That was very paused. It was very Shatnerish.
How about you, Mick? How you doing?
I'm okay. I not going. I had a pretty good day. I wanted to end that way as well.
That's good.
Maybe not have a heart attack. That'd be good.
Chris?
About even. You know, pretty even today.
That's fair.
Oh, can I say something?
No.
Sure.
And put it in the. Am I allowed to comment on this?
On what?
I'm number 4. I'm 4th place on Face of Horror.
Oh,
nice.
Good shit.
So if I'm lucky, I'll get through the cut today. So if you guys have Facebook, go vote for it.
There you go.
I don't know how to put it in the thing though. I'm gonna send it to you, Sturdy.
I think that's rude because I think you're a beautiful son of a bitch.
Sure, lying. Shit, that's what you are.
I realized something when I was watching Nightmare on Elm or Friday the 13th Part 2. The opening scene is the exact same opening scene as 1990's It. With the girl walking through the stream, her mom telling her to come in. Like, I had never put 2 and 2 together. It's a nice little homage in that It miniseries.
And it's funny, towards the end of the movie, I realized, I made the correlation that they kind of revisited a little bit of the situation. And not for nothing, yeah, we'll get into it.
Mm-hmm. Sarah Queen, how's it going?
Hey, Sarah Queen. How you doing?
Sarah?
Into it. Ha.
So before we get any further, tonight we are discussing Friday. Jesus, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Friday the 13th 2, Jason's vs. Freddy, and hey, so far so good. Having fun. Damn it. I was fine all day. Now I have a fucking.
I spent the day with you. You were fine. You didn't cough once.
I'm not nervous, guys. That's not what it is. Don't worry.
I think you are nervous because you were coughing a lot during Scary Snobs too.
Boy.
I think your nerves are getting the best of you, buddy.
Damn it.
There we go. Got that cough bubble out, I think.
I'm going to leave and come back in. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not, but I can't hear any of you. My fucking thing glitched out.
Finally.
Oh, we can hear that, and that was great.
Finally. We got the good news we were expecting.
Yep.
Dude, I'm sorry. I really am. My apologies to you.
Still can't hear us.
I watched Elm Street 2 today. My opinion of that movie is so different than what I thought it was.
I love that movie.
Interesting. We'll get into it though, guys. We'll get into it.
Jason's like, I got a heart out. You got to let me out at 9. So start talking.
Oh, I'm good today.
Jason,
Buddy.
I'm starting with you because actually no, fuck this. Because you had to dip out early last week, so we need your ratings for both films and your favorite kill from. I forgot. I think Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it was Friday the 13th. My favorite kill is when Christy gets it, like in the lights shining at him, and he goes, "What are you doing out in this?" The look on his face is. Me and my friends, when we were in elementary school, used to just make fun of that for hours, and a lot of nostalgia with that. But that's my favorite kill in that movie.
I like that. If I could just talk to that real quick, that's an awesome choice, Jason. That's very cool because I never hear Steve Christy, and that's very cool. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we made fun of it for days. We rewind it and we play it over and over and over again just because the look he gives is just, it's fantastic. And the way he says mess. But anyway, so Friday the 13th, part 1, I give a 4 out of 5. I like that movie a lot. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Hang on. We do 10s here, man. You know this.
10s.
Yes, sir.
9 out of 10.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice.
And then Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm
Nightmare?
Street is an 8 out of 10.
Said 8, and then for Friday you said a 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
John Henderson, what's going on, my guy? How's it going? How's it going?
What's up, John?
Yo, John, if you're free, I know you know these movies. I would love for you to hop on with us. All right, you're at the hot seat now, Jason.
Thank you.
Who was in the hot seat? Is it me?
No, Jason was in the hot seat because he had to dip out early and didn't get to finish up the ratings or anything. He didn't say bye. Mick was crying.
I was sad.
Yep. Chris got a little watery-eyed. It was
Chris
rough.
did not get watery eyed. Don't lie.
My son just walked in here and started talking to me, and I'm like, shit, I gotta go before these guys can hear him. He's
Oh
like,
no! If you were worried about that, we didn't hear anything.
Nah, I didn't hear him at all. I don't think Chris has sound still. He's working on it, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's working on it.
Can't hear you.
I love
Mime
you.
impression. He's in a box.
You know what it is, Chris? I can tell you exactly what the problem is.
He's gonna say some
It's
crazy
the
shit.
ingenuity of the gremlins. They're keeping your sound off.
Sounds good, John. Sounds good. Just let me know, and I will send you a message. You know what I mean?
Mr. Rogers of podcasting. He's just like, come on, be my neighbor. Let's do a podcast together.
Well, I know John. we've
I know,
done
I'm
shows
kidding.
together, but at the same time, though, I do allow a lot of guests on here just because you get different perspectives and all that cool shit, and it's fun. But yeah. So let's dive into this. Oh, really quick. So I have some a little bit of information. Just gonna hop into last week again real quick, and I'll put myself in the hot seat for this.
Can you guys hear me or no?
No,
Now
who
we
are-
can't.
What are you? What are you doing here?
No, who are you? Can you hear me? No, I can't. Who are you? Wow.
Sorry,
You're good. If I can do this, I'm freaking
I enjoyed that too much.
coughing.
The sound effects gold.
Said sound effects gold.
Yeah, Jason or somebody was going shh, shh, shh.
So the original damn cough.
Uh-huh.
I swear. I was not coughing before this show. Ask Mick. He was with me.
I
damn near all day.
lied before. I don't have no idea if he did or not.
We just make shit up. We're on.
I just got back in the country, so.
Yeah, you're welcome. I helped with that.
Somebody has to
All right,
sponsor the green card.
I'm ready. Friday the 13th was released May 9th, 1980. Directed by Sean S. Cunningham. The S is for I don't know. Screenwriter Victor Miller. And of course, music Harry Manfredini. $550,000 budget, and it made $59.8 million in the 80s. 1980. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's dope, but that's crazy. And then A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original one, November 9th, 1984. Craven directed and with the screenwriter of it. Charles Harold Bernstein did the music for it. 1.1 million, and it made 57 million. Not bad at all either. And then the other one, I'll talk about those at some point in the episode for tonight's. Mick,
Yes, sir. What do you want to know?
which one of these films do you think you've seen first, or do you know?
I don't 100% know, but I'm gonna say it was most likely Friday the 13th because when I was a kid, it like took place in Jersey, and I'm from Jersey, so it always was kind of cool to have like a horror figure from my state, and it's Jason Voorhees. I would say I saw part 2 first of Friday. I had to have probably been around 9 or 10. I was really just into Jason, the idea of Jason, and I had seen 3 and 4 before this.
Oh wow!
So
That
because my
happens,
brothers, I had to. I like when I wanted to watch horror as a kid. Like I had to succumb to whatever. Like uncle was willing to let me watch something, or if I could get away with something, or my brothers would put something on and I could watch it with them. So like I really like. I didn't see everything in order until I was much older.
It's probably the same for me with that. I know it was definitely Friday the 13th, part 2 first before Nightmare on Elm Street 2. But watching these, well, you know what, Jason, same question for you.
It's easy. Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was actually the first of the Freddy series I'd seen also. I rented it when I was like 7.
Nice. Wow. And you said you seen that before Friday the 13th, part 2?
Yeah, I rented it and
Nice.
Child's Play 2 on the same day. I remember that very vividly. Those are the first 2 horror movies I remember watching. But yeah, Nightmare 2 is the one I saw first.
What about you, Chris? I'm assuming
hands down Nightmare. Yeah.
I was like, I'm assuming Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm assuming that. But yeah, for me, it was definitely Friday the 13th. But watching these 2 movies, because I've never watched these franchises the same, like any of these movies the same day. And it's so cool to watch them, like same day, back to back, especially. I'm like, this is so dope. Why haven't I done this before? But I guess it's because, like, when you think of a marathon with a franchise, you just think of doing one at a time. But listen, people, try this. Seriously, try this. Even if you're watching along and going along with these episodes, what we're doing, start with these and just watch, say, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Friday the 13th 1, and the next day or whatever, 2. Just it's so fun. Yeah, it's so different. It's because I usually watch, if I'm watching one, I'll go through the one series and go through the other series. It's just like watching the continuation of the story when they actually continue the story before they change up and do crazy shit, and just keep like bits and pieces of the original information in there, the original story. But you guys get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But try it out. I think this may be my new thing with going through franchises. Just do 2 at a time because you get it done faster. You're still watching them all. It's just you're breaking it up in between,
Yeah.
Try it.
I agree.
Try it.
It's
Jason.
definitely interesting. I never would have thought to do this, so I just wanted to say this has definitely been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it started because me, Chris, and James, we kept talking about doing these 2 franchises, and then we even discussed bringing up the idea of just doing them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, I was just like, this is the perfect freaking time to do it. This is the perfect freaking time to do it because I know a lot of people are going to be doing Halloween and Halloween-themed movies right now. But this is the versus battle right here. Got to do the versus battle, And with that said, Jason.
Yeah.
Which movie you want to start out with?
Let's start with Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Kick it off, buddy.
So you said watching these back to back has been an experience. It has been an experience because watching Nightmare after watching Friday the 13th, there's parts of Nightmare that just don't hold up as well as Friday the 13th does because there's CG and special effects and stuff that not necessarily hold up. So it's been fascinating to watch them back to back like this. But there's parts of this movie that I really like, and there's parts that I found really boring rewatching today. And this used to be one of my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movies. So I don't know, like, if it was just my mood today or what, but the opening bus sequence still gets me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be afraid to get on the bus. That's why I never really took a bus to school. I think it was because of this movie, because I watched it when I shouldn't have watched it.
Appreciate you, John. Appreciate you. But go ahead, Jason. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no. And what's fascinating is this movie is so different. Like Nightmare on Elm Street 1, he's coming through your dreams and getting you. And this one, it's almost like they were influenced by The Exorcist in a way because, he's instead of coming at you through your dreams, he's coming at you through Jesse. Like he's got a conduit into the real world. And that's a very different take on Freddy. I don't know, like rewatching it, if I like that version of Freddy or not now. But I just the franchises, they really like there's something they changed so much from film to film. But yeah, they did a lot of new things with Freddy in this movie that kind of contradict the last movie. But even just having a sequel is a contradiction on the last movie. So I still like Freddy Krueger, and he's still menacing in this movie. The whole pool sequence is super scary.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. No, it was I like this one a lot, actually. This is the first 3 are my favorite 3 of the franchise, but this, like, I don't know which order I like the first 3. It always switches. It always switches because this was dope. This was dope. It was a fun watch. And it was just like you were saying how it was different with Freddy being inside his body. And I know there were some undertones with that pissed a lot of people off, but they're fucking stupid for it. 'Cause I think it's a
At the
dope way
time, yeah.
to show that and bring that out and inclusion and all that cool stuff without like throwing it in your face too much, I guess, to make people uncomfortable.
Mhm.
But at the same time, really showing it without showing it. And I'm like, they did a cool thing. It's cool. Growing up watching that, I never caught on to it, of course.
Yeah.
Until I read it somewhere. Like, I was like, oh. Okay.
You asked if I had watched this or Friday Part 2 first. I just wanted to make mention that I actually watched Nightmare on Elm Street 2 before I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
Yeah,
It
me
was
too.
another one of those that was like, so I think I love this movie because like I didn't understand that they abandoned what they did with Freddy in it, and it wasn't similar to the first one. So that's why, like, I just wanted to mention that, like, because it had been brought up, but mostly that's why is like because when I watched the second one, I'm like, I'm still cool with it. Maybe it's just a power Freddy hasn't used, but he did use it in New Nightmare too.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was like, yeah, they brought that back in New Nightmare, and it's kind of a play into when we get to Freddy versus Jason. We'll touch base again on something that they revisited, kind of, and how they played into it.
Oh yeah,
Nice. Watched them both, 1 and 2 as a kid. Nightmare on Elm Street. Never got caught. Around 8 years old.
that's awesome.
I know how that goes, John. Hey, Mick, when you get a chance, can you send me the GoFundMe link, please?
Yes, I can. You can do it right now. Hold on.
And I'll talk about that in a moment, people.
Do you have the
That's
new?
It's gonna be dope.
Do you have the new picture too?
You sent me one on Tuesday. I'm not sure if you updated it from then.
I'm gonna send it to our chat.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. After watching this one, it's because it's been. I usually watch all of these once a year, like around Halloween or whatnot.
Mhm.
But I haven't been able to find my box set since I moved. So it's going on 2 years that I haven't really watched them like that. So revisiting it, I had a little more fun with it this time. And then this was my least favorite of the entire series.
This one's your least favorite?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's
Well, always was my least favorite. Right now, I'm kind of like, all right, it's not bad. It's coming up a little bit. But that also goes to show how, like, when time passes, and if you give things a little bit of a break, like you kind of get to reset off of those same little things that you have programmed into your mind, or those points that always hit with you. Because now you get to see a couple new things. It's almost like wearing a fresh pair of eyes, even though you kind of know what might happen or what's going to be happening. It gives you a chance to kind of revisit it, like if it's for the first time again type deal.
Yeah.
When you give it enough time, yeah. And again, this was one of my favorites of the first 3 are the best of this whole franchise, in my opinion. But this was one of my favorites. And I don't know. It just, even knowing about like all the other stuff with it, I'm like, okay, cool. It doesn't hurt the story. Doesn't, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think most of my issues stemmed from watching it after watching Friday the 13th too. And I'll get more into why when we get to Friday the 13th too.
Anybody know a special bit of trivia about Friday the 13th Part 2?
What's that?
Do you know?
You were in it.
Who played Ginny in the movie? Amy Steele, right?
She looks so familiar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember the TV show Family Ties?
I do.
She played the character that Alex P. Keaton lost his virginity to.
Oh wow.
Just for some reason, it always like cracks me up whenever I see her into.
Remember
I love her.
the good times for the characters in the first time.
Take the
That took a second. Like, wait, what did he just say?
She played a college girl,
Oh,
and he was a high school kid, and they went out on a date, and she took his virginity, and he went like all haywire.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
did she take it? Did she take it, or did he give it to her?
All right, fair enough. It was a consensual take and give situation, and I'm sure she tried to take it, and he gave it. And Chris not being able to talk right now is the greatest goddamn thing on the planet. He's
No, I
talking
just
to his,
needed-
he's talking to his people.
Yeah.
I love it. It's amazing.
Oh, that was fun.
Letting them know not to be shy and get in the chat.
Yes, hop in the chat, people. Don't be scared.
You should.
I got 5 people over on Kick. I'm like, all right, cool, this works.
This is dope. This is dope. All right, let's get the picture downloaded. What folder was that in?
All right. So let's talk design of Freddy.
I didn't even give it. You guys all gave ratings. I didn't give a rating.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't
No,
know.
we didn't we didn't do ratings yet. We were just talking about discussing part 2.
Jason did ratings, didn't he, for part 2?
No,
You gave,
he did his rating. No, the ratings he did was for Tuesday's episode for part
this
1
is
and
some bullshit, right? You know, I'm sitting here trying to play the game.
Mick wants to rate it. Come on.
I want to rate it. Let's go. I'm not even in a
hey,
rush.
if you want to
I
rate part
rate
2,
it now and then talk about it. I'm just kidding.
It's rated X for the clubs.
Ridiculous.
Here we go.
all right, Mick. You know what? No, fuck this. Hang on.
You can make me
I'm
rate
going
it.
back to the old ways of the ratings.
I don't want to do
Boom.
that. I give up. I don't want to rate it. You just want me to give my rating?
Yep.
That's abrasive and a little. For part 2 of which one? Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare. Yeah.
I would give this a solid 8 out of 10.
8.
I don't understand all the hate for it either. I understand it's different in tone and it changed things up from Freddy in the past, but I don't know how. I think more and more people are realizing how good of a movie this is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. But you, good sir.
Back in the day, I probably would have given this one a 5.5, 6. But honestly, today I'm kind of right there with Mick. I'm giving this one. I got popcorn in my hair. I'm giving this one a 7.5.
Where are you at, Jason? Oh, there you are.
If you had asked me, like, man, like a month ago, I'd have said an 8 out of 10. So I'm not dropping it very far. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I still really like the movie. It's just that there's more. I noticed more flaws watching it back with Friday. That's all.
I'm gonna give this one a 9. I really enjoyed it. I really freaking enjoyed it. It was just dope. It was fun, and it was the last. Excuse me. It was the last one where Freddy was considered scary, in my opinion. Because after this one, it's when the silliness really turned up. Not bad.
I would argue 3.
Absolutely.
Was very serious. I'd argue
It's still,
3 is
but
probably.
but there's silliness in it though.
I would argue
Dream Warriors, right?
if you're doing silliness factor, 1, 3, 2, and then the rest are just like. And Wes Craven's Nightmare is pretty.
I got to see part 3 again. I haven't seen it in quite a while. Well, yeah, I haven't seen it in quite a while. It's probably been a couple of years actually.
To me, see, Dream Warriors is 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and to me, 3, which we'll get to on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
to me, that was the one that, like, Freddy from part 1 really solidified that, like, the scary guy, but at the same time, part 3 for me is when I was like, yo, I really can't get away from this guy. And then he's horrible because of the torment and the types of torment that he uses, the psychological shit with the person's dreams. So we'll talk about that when we get to part 3. But as far as I go, 2, my least favorite, because I didn't feel as scary about this one. It kind of felt more like a movie, if that makes sense, with him coming into reality, where then 3 brings it back to the, hey, you can't really escape him. He's in your dreams. He's in your thoughts. And then now he's not only in your dreams and thoughts, he's using your dreams and thoughts to fuck with you and to kill you.
Yeah.
Who is this?
You know what I mean? Freddy.
Who?
Krueger.
Who?
The one, the only.
I'm gonna jump to the comments real quick. John said he saw Robert Russler and Marcus Bell from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Cool guys. Put some Freddy on their tables. Nice. Dope. Stuck in my mind. Hello, Jason. Jason, you gotta say hi.
What's up, Wise? How you doing, buddy?
What's happening?
Is that Wise? Oh, Wise. What's up, man? Wait,
Appreciate you popping in, Wise.
you bastard.
Yeah,
oh, Peter Anthony's here.
Actually, we're reviewing that
What up,
and part
Anthony?
3 on Tuesday, Peter.
Dude.
So that'll be fun.
Peter's a filmmaker too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
He's
okay.
my guy.
All right. I wasn't sure.
What's good? What's good?
Came in
Oh yeah,
noticed.
that's my guy.
What's happening? Stuck in my mind.
Second tier wise, second. I love you, Wise. You know that.
4 got goofy for me. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I
Oh,
100% agree.
Guys, look at this. My wife said something.
Oh.
3 was definitely scary.
Yeah, and she would know. She knows. She knows what's up.
Yeah.
The fact that they just play up the suicide angle so much, like they go back to that, like what's going on with the kids, what's happening, and like that movie, Wes Craven stepping in to write that too, like was a big deal in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that part I do remember.
So one of the biggest tones that I pulled away from this one was to me it had that like Amityville vibe to it, because it's like the house and then the family starts to get fucked with, and then Jesse starts to kind of have the dreams and then become, so that kind of had that real paranormal aspect of it in this movie about it, where the other one it's more of, hey, you know, the past is coming back to bite you in the ass. This one's more of something supernatural is occurring in the house type deal.
That's a good point. Some good points.
That's fair.
Listen, guys, really quick. Let's talk about this Casters for a Cause thing. And what made me think of it is because somebody keeps playing with their hair.
I know. Sorry.
Keep getting popcorn in it.
But he's gonna possibly be cutting that hair live Friday the 13th. Now listen, I'm gonna show you guys what we are talking about. So next Friday, Casters for a Cause. You don't have say. He's doing it for the people and the money, donations.
And thank you, Xander Diallo, for donating.
Yeah, Xander, thank you.
Appreciate it. A live charity script read. Reading Friday the 13th script. And the donations are going to all for lunch. So children can have lunch. They shouldn't have to be paying for lunch. I think that's bullshit.
Damn right.
But we could help. We could help. He is loco.
I was staring at the screen as you're doing this, and I forgot we're not on it. And I'm sitting there giving my thumbs up as you're saying that. I'm like, yeah.
So yeah,
school
a charity script read. Casters for a Cause, a charity script read. It's going to be a fun time next Friday, 7:00 Eastern time, live. And you're going to see us 4 on there and other faces, and hopefully a lot more faces, because it's fun. It's fun.
We're going to be playing some games. We worked out some kinks. We're going to get some fun people to be a part of it.
Yes.
It's going to be, and we are actively, like, there's going to be prizes given out for, like, because we did the awards last. Oh, Sturdy. That's what we got to talk about with the awards.
Yes.
So there's going to be awards at the end, like audience participation, funniest line during it, all coming from you guys, you know? So like, and also biggest donation. We'll be doing that as well. So
I'm going to tell you guys what, part of the biggest donation giveaway I have, because I have one of them right next to me, and I have 2 copies of this. But this right here.
That's a good
Terrifier.
I'm looking for
Terrifier 2
I can't win it, but
field book. Still in the plastic, still wrapped up, unlike, you know, what our parents did. Well, mine did. It was a broken condom. Different story.
Wow.
But, anyway, that's one of them. And I have another Blu-ray. It's downstairs, I think. But it's an independent film. Go Away. So
yes.
I'm going to throw that one in there. And I may throw another double or triple or something I got in there.
I want to win one.
But, that will be going up for Casters for a Cause for the All for Lunch, because it's a very important thing. And we want to help feed these children. That's the most important thing. But you guys can come over, get entertained, get some laughs, and have a good time. And any amount counts. And if you can't afford it, I understand, rough times. Just please hit that share button.
Yep.
Please hit that share button. Ronell, what's good?
What's happening, Ro?
Was good. Appreciate you popping in. You've probably never seen these movies before. It's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 and Friday the 13th Part 2, because you're scared of every damn thing. But I do appreciate you popping in. You gotta get you on an episode one of these days to review a movie with us. You'd have a great freaking time.
That is fun.
Make it tough. You know. But yes. And this guy again, Chris, you listen. I'm gonna just blow him up and just let him talk about what he's gonna do, so you guys can just see this.
So basically, what I'm doing is the entire time, if we can beat the goal of what they did last Casters for the Cause, then I
That's
will.
never gonna happen.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what
I
happens.
mean, like, but it was a large goal. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If we beat the amount that got taken in at the last Casters for the Cause,
Yeah, that's a.
We can
Okay.
do it.
You're so.
if we do, I will cut my
When
hair.
we
If
do.
it happens live on stream, it happens live on stream. But the campaign is still going after the stream. So even
Yeah.
if we beat it on at the end of the campaign, even if it's the last day and we end up beating it,
On Halloween,
I will come on and I will do a stream if I have to myself, or we'll host it with Mick, and I will cut my hair. I'm
I'll
also
keep it on.
going to be donating the entire thing. Once we get to the point that I can cut all of my hair off, I'm going to be donating it to one of those organizations that makes wigs for people in need. So
That's awesome.
let's help quite a few people out. Let's get some kids some lunches. Let's get somebody some luscious, curly, dark hair. And let's have a good time doing it.
You do have luscious, curly, dark hair.
Thank you, sir. Thank
The
you.
only thing I would like to add to that for you, Chris, is just in case he will be shaving it because he's a man of his word. But there are parameters. I don't know if you looked into them yet, so I don't want to say like you're definitely donating just in case like there's a certain parameter or they're not accepting this time of year.
Oh, yeah, it has to be like 12 inches, I think, minimum or something like that.
Yeah, which I don't listen. I don't doubt. Oh wait, so the hair, I'm not sure.
I knew exactly where he was
I was
going
like,
with
wait,
that.
what?
Oh man, and
Keep
Ronell,
you on your
listen.
toes.
And
I know you want to grow your hair out. You can get some Puerto Rican hair.
I mean, I could give you some
Help
hair, bro. I
donate.
can give you some extensions. You know what I mean? We can hook you up with some weave.
I'd
There you
rock,
go.
I'd rock his hair.
And then you can like to be out in the club and stuff. You could like have somebody video record you and you're shaking your hair and then have someone slow it down in slow motion. You look cool. This is all for you, Ronell. All love
shit.
too.
I love
The
Oh,
moment's
love.
passed now for my joke about Jesse.
it. Girl.
Because Mick's
That's
over here talking
exactly
about
what
the
we
12.
That's exactly we would want. We would want you to have that hair
Why not, bro?
just to
Look
see
at
how
this.
you act. It'd be hilarious. It'd be the best.
I
Whole
would-
attitude would change. Whole
I couldn't
attitude.
wear that. I could not wear that hair. I would look like what's his name? That was Whiteface in Creepshow 2. The one with the cigar starring in one.
The native.
I realize it's an offensive term. I'm only using the term they use in the movie. All right, don't kill me.
Uh-oh. Look at that. There you go, Chris.
A fellow Boricua, ¿cómo estamos, hombre?
Yeah, he is Wise. Yeah, and Wise gonna shave his hair too. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I want Wise on the show. I was actually going to reach out to him after we finalize the list. Wise is fun.
I need to get him on this show. Wise, what are you doing? And have you seen these movies? I'm sure you've seen these movies before.
I couldn't count how many times Jesse said,
This guy.
"He's inside me."
Yep.
Well, there's a reason for it, though.
I know. I know.
A few reasons.
The whole movie is the allegory. I'll let you tell it. You're the man.
Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
I don't want to
You're
tell
gonna
you.
say
Sure, you do it.
Mick, it's okay. It's okay.
No, I know. I don't want to. I want you to. I'm on all the time. Your show. I love hearing your voice, not mine.
Basically, there is, I guess you'd say, homosexual undertones in a sense. It's not. Once you're older, you understand it. You see it. But again, like I said earlier, it's not thrown in your face. Like if you're a kid, you don't really see it. Like I didn't notice that at all growing up until one, I was told, and then two, being an adult and seeing it and like, oh, so that's what they're doing. Okay, cool. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's why the movie does. I don't know if it still gets as much hate as it used to, but that was a big reason. That was the reason why, right there.
It's popping up a lot more on people's higher up lists.
As it should.
On the street too. Yeah.
As it should. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Absolutely.
It's a good movie. It's
Sorry, my kid got a fumble, so my wife was texting me. He's playing football.
Oh, he forced a fumble?
He recovered.
Nice.
Clap it up for him. Shit, that's dope.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm proud of him, dude. He's going
Come on,
crazy.
shit.
I love it.
Now when he gets home, beat his ass so it doesn't happen again.
No, he recovered.
He recovered the fumble. He's defense.
I thought he fumbled and then recovered his fumble. I'm like, yeah, you got to teach him not to let that happen again.
I would like to point out too, if he had caused the fumble, I would have patted him on the back and told him it's going to be okay. That's how I would have been handled.
Oh, if he was the fumbler,
I don't want to raise him like me. I want him to.
Oh
my
man.
God, that's
oh
amazing.
my goodness, that's some funny shit. All right, now on to the sequels. On to the sequels as far as so Friday the 13th Part 2 came out in May 1st, 1981, directed by Steve Miner. Screenwriter was Ron Cruz. Harry Manfredini again. Budget 3.5 million. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. 1.25 million, but it made 21.7 million, which again, back in the 80s, dope.
That's money.
That's dope. And then Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 came out November 1st, 1985, 17 days before I was born. I had to let you guys know that. Directed by Jake Shoulder.
Jack Shoulder.
Huh?
Jack Shoulder.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. Screenwriter David Chaskin. Christopher Young did the music. This one, $3 million budget, $3 million budget, and it made $29.99 million.
Wow.
Again, for the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
For the 80s.
That's some Tony Montana money, man.
But ratings. Who do I want to start? You know what? Let's start with this guy right here. What's your rating for this?
We're talking Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah. No. Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. All right. Obviously, this is the introduction to the actual Jason in the movie, like full length. But again, doesn't really do all of it for me. I'm giving this one. It's to me, it's on par. I'll give this one a 7.
Mr. Manhattan.
God damn you, Chris. You gave number 2 a 7.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my second favorite in the series, and that can change at any time and become my first favorite.
Yeah.
I love this movie. My rating for this, probably 9. I love this movie.
9. See?
I agree with Mick. 9.
9? Nice. Sturdy, what do you think? 10 for me. A 10 for me. And me and Mick were talking about this earlier, actually. I wouldn't have been mad to see more Sackhead Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if they did another film, Part 3 was Sackhead, and then Part 4 started the whole, But
do you know why, though? Do you know why it changed so quickly?
Was it because of Sack Brip and they didn't have another one?
You could have changed it to anything even when it came off, but it was because it was hard to see, and he had to do a lot of running at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when they got to the sequel, they needed something that had eye holes that they could do, so they figured a mask.
Makes sense.
No.
There's even unintentional foreshadowing in this movie where they mention hockey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, but they also when he goes for the one spear, when he's going upstairs by the sex scene, he grabs the other. There's a mask on the spear, and you're kind of like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah. He just drops that down, goes upstairs.
But they kind of look at it and they show it.
Going back to our conversation from Tuesday with the whole sex and horror, if it's over sexualized and too much. This was a movie where the sex scene made sense because of that kill.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's definitely, I'll say that's my favorite kill in the movie. It was a dope kill. You got it 2 for 1. 2 for 1.
The sex scene with the spear, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really like that. Poop, straight through the back.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Compared to the first one through the neck, what do you like better?
That's tough.
The first one through the neck is more iconic.
Yeah, and it's Tom Savini. Like,
more
I feel like
blood.
the spear goes down, but it cuts. Like, at least Tom Savini showed it,
Yeah. Imagine him doing that scene or having, you know what I mean? That would have.
Yeah.
This movie is how you make a horror sequel. Like, it literally picks up where the last one left off.
Mhm.
It flows very nicely into it. As somebody who's a huge fan of TV, continuity is just something I love. And there's a lot of continuity with the first movie. And I didn't realize how good of a sequel it was, like, until I really sat down today with nothing else happening and just gave it all of my attention, which, you know, a lot of times I do these marathons, I don't get all of my attention, but it's a pretty show. And the added layer, I was watching outside with it pouring down behind me. I jumped like 6 times during this movie. I don't know that I've ever jumped during a Friday the 13th movie, but I did today.
Nice.
I love it.
I do too.
But
I
no,
do
man,
too.
this movie is a great sequel. It's a shame we never got to see her come back because she lives through this movie.
What's up, Jayhan?
What's
Thanks for
good,
coming,
Jay?
buddy.
Ginny lives. Yeah, Ginny lives in the movie. I would have loved to see her come back too. That's my biggest setback when it comes to the Friday the 13th series. With the exception of what they tried to do with Tommy Jarvis, I just don't think they did it well. Because it would have been so much better if you had Corey Feldman as a kid, not a teenager, like kind of like maybe a few years later, he's older and he's living in that, you know, his group home or whatever. And it would have pulled it off so much better. Like, he's a better actor. So, and then that Tom Matthews, as much as I like him, like by that point, you could, you know, I don't know. I just don't like how they always switched out the female characters after every one. And it's like, even if they survive, they're not coming back. Like, you did it in the first and second one. Why not keep going?
Yeah.
It's my gripe.
You know, and that was the point I wanted to make about Nightmare on Elm Street, is that I kind of wish that we had an opportunity to see some of the outcome after that with the way it ended, because we do get a little bit of that opportunity when Heather Langenkamp comes back for was it Dream Warriors or the right? So we got a survivor who comes back, you know, the original, I guess, situation. Which then I also want to know, is that well, technically, yeah, that was the first time, because that was the next generation after the parents did what they did in their town. Yeah, so it'd be nice to see if the end of Nightmare 2 was actually just a dream, or if anybody survived that, and then, you know what I mean, how that plays out, continuation with that person. Do they end up at the loony bin, you know what I mean, that they always allude to in the west side, or what the fuck's the name of the town?
Well,
I almost said Westbury, like SUNY Westbury. Springfield, yeah.
Sturdy and I were talking legacy sequels on Scary Snobs, and I was watching Friday the 13th too. And what would be fascinating is if, you know, we find out that Paul, because she asked where Paul is, and they don't say. We find out Paul got, you know, arrested, taken to jail, and is serving time for those crimes. And, you know, somehow like that, I think that'd be a fascinating story. But yeah, no, I wish Jenny would come back. But this movie was so good. It was so good.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Paul, the actor who played Paul, I was telling Sturdy this. I went to it was like a signing.
It really is.
Crystal Lake Memories, the documentary that is like fucking 6 or 7 hours long or whatever it is. 10 hours long, yeah. I've seen it. I watched the whole thing. It's awesome. But so I went in and they had the entire cast of every movie there, all the way through.
God.
You got to go through and get stuff signed. Like, it was a private event, and I walked up to the second table. And of course, the first ones are Amy Steele and Paul. I can't think of his name at the moment. And the first question I asked, "What happened to Paul?" He's like, "You don't think he got the fuck out of there?" I was like, "Come on." I was like, "All right, Paul, good on you." Not the hero type.
That's, oh my gosh.
I will say on my end, definitely watching the first Friday the 13th and now the second one again consecutively back to back for days, and then comparing them between the two movies, you do see a lot better of these angles and these cool takes that the way Cunningham does certain things with the camera, and to establish certain things and get close-ups. Or like the first one, he had the point of view cam, which we saw through the mom eyes, or we saw through one of the campers or whatnot, certain situations, especially at the beginning scene. And then this one comes back with a lot of these other scenes that are kind of the same tone, but now we're getting to see Jason because he's more of the focal point, and you can see them transitioning to it being more of like an outside view of these horrific things happening in the camp. But the way they do shoot it, the way they do lighting, still on point. I mean, the soundtrack. I know Mick had touched on it earlier in one of our conversations. Hands down, one of the best horror movie soundtracks. And this is the movie. These are the movies why I even listen to things like synthwave at certain points. You know what I mean? Sometimes literally just to listen to synthwave, because these movies make them so iconic and they use them so well to set tones.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
I'm really surprised with. I honestly thought Nightmare on Elm Street would sweep for me. I'm really surprised that I'm preferring the Friday the 13th.
Wow, really? Yeah, I guess that's true. The second one.
I mean, I love I've always loved Jason, but I just can't believe like how well the movies are made.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like this one, Nightmare on Elm Street almost feels like a Mad Lib, where it's like, okay, somebody else is gonna run with the story. Almost, I'm not comparing quality, guys. It's almost like the Star Wars trilogy. Like the second guy just made whatever movie he wanted to make with Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And with Friday the 13th, like you said, with the way they're filming and using the certain tricks from the first movie, it feels like the same team made it. You know, whether that's true or not, it just feels organically like a continuation.
And for me, knowing what editing is, I'm sorry, Sturdy. Like I was sitting here watching a lot of these cuts and these jumps thinking, fuck, man, how good do we have it right now? Being able to do this all digitally on a screen, not having to cut rolls of fucking film and get it right. And then what happens if you fuck up?
And I can tell you that because having had filmed in full film strips, it sucks. Yeah, I don't prefer it to what we have. It's the worst. Don't do it. And fucking, I feel bad for all those.
Yeah, but it just
they made us do that just to teach us the old way.
Now, I'm assuming that does that make you appreciate it more now?
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming that. Because I was just gonna say.
Imagine hanging strips of scenes, and how long they are, and cutting them together by eye. Well, not. I mean, you're using light and stuff, but it really is essentially by eye. And then it got easier over time. They created more stuff. But Chris is right, man. We're at the pinnacle of the best time.
Which, by the way, all of the digital editing and stuff like that, and the way the process has changed in editing for film and all that, has to be thanked to Mr. George Lucas and his team at ILM. Back in the day, they pioneered a lot of this equipment to make editing faster, to digitize things. I mean, this was all newfound technology coming out from the 70s from these group of guys that just got put in a warehouse and said, all right, go make movies. And they were like, all right, let's start trying to figure out how to make our life easier.
Yeah.
ILM has done so much for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, ILM even started Pixar.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of them that really started with ILM.
Just knowing what they had to do back in the day, hearing about it as just someone that watches movies, it gives me a little bit, or not even a little bit more, a lot more appreciation. Like, holy shit, you guys had to do all this to make this movie, and now I'm not saying it's simple now. I'm not saying that, but just with the technology, a lot easier, a lot faster, and so that's crazy. That's crazy, but dope at the same time. And I mean, I guess you didn't know anything else back then, so it wasn't like, oh shit, let me just go to my computer and do this. Like, what are you talking about, man? You on drugs?
You had to go, and the amount of work that went into just making it ready for to be able to cut it, because there's a lot of work, treatments that need to be done for the film before it even gets there. You want to know something hard? Fucking try changing a film reel canister just by hand, just by touch. You can't even look, like it's because it's in the tent.
Yep.
You fuck up, they're all pissed at you.
Get pissed at Eddie. Oh man.
Because when I was still coming up, like they were still using film. Like a lot of people were still using film. That sucked.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm bad at this. I'm gonna die.
My favorite kill in this movie, and I'm gonna go to hell, is the guy in the wheelchair when he falls down the stairs.
Oh, same here.
That's mine too.
Actually, that it was that one, and then the spear is second. That is my favorite.
I'm fucking mad that they kind of made a joke out of it while everybody's sitting at the table, and the guy's like, hey, if anybody wants to go out on the night of the town one last time, now's your chance. And they're sitting at the table, and the guy's like, nah, I think I'll stay in. It's, having a guy in a wheelchair fall, like kind of kills
no.
the
He said
mood.
having a drunk ass. He said having a drunk asshole in a wheelchair could be, and I know for certain. I know for certain how it is hanging out with a drunk in a wheelchair. Shout out to my cousin Michael because he can be an asshole at times. It was funny though. It was funny, very entertaining. So I get it, and that's why I like that scene so much. Like sometimes I just send him that clip. Hey, listen, Jason was.
No, you got to show him the one from Mac and Me. It is like speeding down the hill because his brakes were broken, and he falls off a cliff into the water. It's epic.
I'll show him that one.
That's the clip Paul Rudd always brings to the Conan show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just see myself being like, kick your feet. Battle, kick.
Jump.
Jesus Christ. I'm not picking on disabled
Neither am I. It's just funny. If it was in a comedy movie, you guys be laughing. It's funny.
I will live with him getting a machete across the face and down those stairs. That's fine. I'll stick up for that. I draw the line or kick your feet.
I'm still wondering what the hell he was training for.
I don't even want to say it. Like the Special Olympics, I guess, or the Paralympics.
Maybe.
Can you say Special Olympics anymore? Is that I don't even know if that's politically correct. I know they do the Paralympics, but wasn't the Special Olympics separate?
I don't know.
I'm asking questions. I feel like
if I wanted to be politically correct, I would have been a politician.
I mean, they get him into playing wheelchair basketball.
Podcaster.
Man, Sturdy, I'm afraid you're not going to make it to the show.
Sturdy, you're dying, dude. I hate to
I'm great, guys. I'm great. Don't worry.
You need to put the wife on so you can go take a nap.
I'm not tired. Just got a little coffee. Shit.
Oh man.
That's cake.
So let's see. Favorite killer. Since Jason led that off, I'm gonna hop in there. It was tough for me. It was between the hammer in the back of the head from behind, just because of how the guy telegraphed and acted, and like it pulled, and you see Jason.
Oh, when he's hanging upside.
No. There was the what was it? The cop or somebody? The
hammer.
bald dude. Yeah, it was the cop. He took the hammer to the back of the head, the clawfoot. And then the one with you guys, because that's the one kill that I always remember from this one. Is the one through the bed, 2 for 1. Like part of me wishes when they did that, they would have went like an extra step and had like both hearts at the end of it when it came through the bed. You know what I mean? Like he just pushed both hearts straight through. Boom.
I just like Jason had a beard in this movie. Like in part 4, I believe he doesn't have a beard anymore. So I want the movie where Jason shaves.
That's in part 3.
We got to make a TikTok of that.
It's between part 2 and part 3.
Have him sharpening his fucking machete, and then all of a sudden he just takes his whole machete and just starts shaving his beard off.
Like who taught him to shave?
Clean up. Jason probably cleans up.
This guy thinks his mother's head is still alive, and he's gonna shave.
Yeah,
it's true.
It would kill himself.
I mean, he's already, be all right. And he's good with a blade, as we've seen. Pretty precise. I think he could pull it off. Clean up his beard, Unless he goes to a barbershop, you cutting his hair?
Nah, he got to have hair first, and those 3 little ones he had, I think he wants those.
Whoa! Be careful with people with just 3 hairs. Those are precious to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, go watch the 3 Hair podcast. No.
Him and Ronell.
Sorry, Sturdy. What was your favorite kill?
Sure.
The wheelchair kill. The wheelchair kill was first. I'll say the sphere kill was second. My third favorite is when he's upside down. The dude's upside down, and even though the machete was upside down for the throat slit, I still enjoyed it. Mick, did you say your favorite kill?
Yeah, I said the wheelchair.
Okay. Kill. Yeah, we all enjoyed the wheelchair kill. Overall, that's number 1 because it was Chris's second and everyone else's first. So, That's how we get down. Well, people in the chat, what were your favorite kills of these two films? Which I know we didn't do a Nightmare on Elm Street. What was my favorite kill on Nightmare on Elm Street? I forgot. Shit.
You know what I loved? The nerd survived.
Yeah.
He never
Favorite
left.
kill on a Nightmare on Elm Street, guys.
For me, it was the shower scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The coach one, yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to go with a kill on this one. I'm going to go, because people do get kills, but I don't have a name for it, but I'm going to go with the pool scene.
Gotcha.
Oh, yes.
I thought that was
Fire and all that shit. That was dope.
When he jumps out, it's crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And Jason had mentioned it earlier.
Yes. I actually meant to mention that earlier, and we just got into another conversation and forgot about that being my favorite kill. Holy shit, that was a good kill. Holy shit, that was a good freaking.
I love that scene.
Yeah, the end effect of Freddy melting, it's a little bit, you can kind of see some of the flaw in it, but at the same time, the way they still pull it off is just super dope.
Mm-hmm.
Super dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that kill or that end scene was always stuck in my head growing up, and I can never remember which movie it was from. You know, with the kiss and the melting shit. I can never remember which movie it was from, and then I seen it today. I was like, this has been on my mind for years, and I don't remember the last time I seen this movie. And I'm sure I've seen it. You know, I know I've seen it in my adult life, but still, I'm just like, okay, it's in part 2. It's in part. I hope I remember this time from here on out. But one day that kill just made me in my body. I'm like, what fucking movie is that from?
So now with both these movies, the characters themselves, because we do have a change, right? One Friday the 13th, we go from Pamela being the antagonist to now Jason's actually real. He's there. He has a sack on his head. He's running through the woods. And then we have the Freddy, that's the evil jester, to now a demon who's possessing people. We had the clothing change from no stripes on sleeve to stripes on the sleeve, but the biggest change was in his appearance physically. What did you guys think? He's what?
He's friendlier. Freddy in this one, like, he looks friendlier.
You think so?
He did because the first one he was dark. It was like very like peely and like very.
Yeah.
This one, it looks like you can look at him and you're not. Like, I mean, you're looking at a burn victim, but at the same time, you're not as scared as you were in the first one, and I think that's because they were trying to bank on Freddy.
And that's part of the reason why this one was kind of part of my least favorite of the series, because I wasn't as scared of Freddy. He didn't look as bad and I didn't like that they gave him these like cheeks and these sunken in eyes or whatnot. I always hated that.
This is your least favorite. This is your least favorite because Freddy was the most childish.
I guess
4, 5, 6.
No, I didn't say childish. I said he was just less scary. Like when I think of Freddy Krueger in my dreams, like, or in my head, honestly, the two images that pop up is Part 1 and New Nightmare Now.
Dude, Final Nightmare, he has a power glove.
Yeah, I love that. He's playing.
And he's just like, good graphics. Like, come on. Like, at least, like, let's say that's the silliest.
Hey, I didn't say it wasn't silly. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
True, but you did say, as this was the one where he's like, this is where he's like the silliest, and that's my least favorite. I'm like, nah, I can't get over the power glove.
I just the way he looked, I didn't like his facials, the way they did the molds for his face and stuff like that. It just didn't get to me as much. And then them doing the whole fingers coming out, or the knives coming out of the actual hands and stuff like that. Like, I'm glad they had shown the glove in the movie at least at some point, but I think they should have made that a thing where like Jesse doesn't even realize he like has it on him or something like that. He always fucking like magically has it on whenever he turns into Freddy type deal. Now, my question is, I know we're on Friday. We're gonna go back to Friday. I'm kind of going back and forth here. Do you guys? I kind of wish I would have seen like a cut or a version of that whole pool scene from everybody's perspective, because when the doors start locking, the fire starts going, the water starts boiling. Are they looking at Jesse, or do they see Freddy? Do the parents see Freddy, or do the parents see Jesse?
That's a good question.
You know, if it was a Wes Craven movie, you would know.
Wait, say it again.
I said if Wes Craven had made it, I feel like you would have known.
I like Jack Shoulder though. He's as a good like as a director. I I like it. I didn't. The writer of this, he was kind of loudmouth about it, but I can't remember his name at the moment. But we had Jack Shoulder on the show. We didn't really talk to him too much about this because everybody was talking to him about part 2, and they're like, "Oh, was it supposed to be gay?" And it was like a weird time. So I talked to him a lot, but I wish I would have thought of that to ask that question, because that would have been. That's a really good question. I don't know who they see, and I wish they had shared that.
Because what leads me to ask that question is when the final kid there is like, it's okay, like I'm here to help you, like, and he's talking him down, not like he's completely scared of him, and like he's talking to another kid who's just went off the handle type deal. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And writer, really quick, it was David Chaskin.
David, the writer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he caused a lot of problems with it.
I hate when I hear that. Like when you're hearing about film, especially if it's like a dope series, franchise, whatever. And you hear some people, I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, why? Why? Just relax. Breathe. Take a chill pill. Have a Snickers. Not a sponsor, but definitely can be. Snickers, holla at your boy.
They have a really good documentary about this movie.
I love it.
I'll check it out.
That's why I wish I had my fucking box set for those special features too and everything.
You gotta dig that out.
I can't find it ever since I moved here. Like I feel like a whole box disappeared in the move. Now, with that being said, yeah, I know. Now, with that being said about Freddy, let's take it to the other side with Friday the 13th. As far as the new character, because it is a new character. We had a young Jason at the end in a dream sequence. Now we have the new character of a grown Jason Voorhees. At first, his face is out. Then he finds that sack, puts it on or whatnot. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, do you think they did well with presenting a new character for the sense that they were trying to portray in these movies of fear and horror? Do you think the person's stature worked out well? Do you think the mask did well enough for you?
I do. I got a question I want to get to when we're done with this one. Just don't let me forget.
Type it in the private chat part so you don't forget it. Just don't hit end. Huh?
Oh, nothing. I was answering the question. I do.
Oh.
I liked it a lot.
Okay.
What's the question?
The character of Jason Voorhees in this one.
Yeah. I'm kidding with you. I accept her explanation. I like her saying, and the thing is, there's subtlety to the sequel and there's exposition. And now a lot of people, I've said it before, I don't like when everybody kind of like talks it through, but this is a situation where in a script you kind of have to. It's already been established. It's a sequel. But for her to be a child psychology major, you know, I don't think people understand how much that plays into later when she puts on the sweater. You know, the sweater's right there in front of the head, not because it's the only things he has to remember her.
Yep.
So when she puts that sweater on, yeah, he sees it because he's childlike. And she said that earlier when she's in the bar. She's like, "What if he's still alive?" She said that she dreamed about him when he was a kid, but and she says that wouldn't make sense. He'd be older now, and what if he has the mind of a child? You know, and he's just out there in these woods, like he could be killing people, and like. So it gives you the explanation that I never hear anybody in any of these podcasts or anything else talk about the fact that there is an explanation why there was no Jason in the first one, why there's Jason in the second one. And it's so subtle, but I just never hear anybody talk about it. And they do. They just straight up tell you right off the bat. So yeah. I respected that for them to be able to at least come out and still give us an explanation.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. And then to answer your question, Chris, I love it. And like I said earlier, I wouldn't have minded if we had one more of Sackhead Jason, just one more film, just because it was just a cool concept. It was, I wouldn't say it was like super scary, maybe a little creepiness to it. I mean, if you see a dude in a sack running around in the woods, you're not going to go up to him and say hi. Get the fuck away from him.
I'm not going to walk up to a dude in a sack in a city.
Well, yeah, very true, but I feel like a woods is like, you know what?
They belong in the woods. I don't.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Wait, what the hell? What the hell?
No, I didn't answer it, but I do like this version of Jason. It is definitely not my favorite.
Oh no, it's not my favorite. Not my favorite. We'll get to it when we get further down the road with this. And Wise said, looking at it now, I didn't notice a lot of same.
Yeah.
Same with both of these movies. But I guess it happens though, because like I feel when you're watching these as a kid, you're really watching it for Jason and Freddy and all that stuff. And then when as you get older, you're paying more attention to the story and all the other shit that goes on in the background and everything else. And it's pretty dope, actually. What were you saying, Jason?
I was saying, so we're pretty much on the same page that Jason survived the drowning and just been living in the woods. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I adopt that into, and I know I don't want to give too much away for whoever's watching along or whatnot, but like I adopt that into like the sixth one, which is clearly the Frankenstein version of Jason and how he comes back. So like dead all the way after 4, 5 different 6 brought back to life. So like that. So I like that explanation of like how things went and why he's immortal now.
Which it's just. And what's funny about these type of films is, obviously, with logic, none of this shit makes sense, but we do not care. Like horror, us as horror fans will complain about some silly ass shit in a horror movie, right? But then don't give a shit that there's a guy in a hockey mask running around killing people that drown, but still alive, but then gets killed and comes back. Like that doesn't bother us at all. But it'll be something small in a movie, and you're just like, what the? This
horror fans drive me fucking crazy. It always turns into it's just not realistic enough. I'm gonna go watch Child's Play. Yeah, that's let's argue that. Oh my god, the Godfather is not the best movie of all time. Have you seen Sorority Girls in the Slimeball Bowl-orama?
Wait, what? What the hell says that? How many drinks were they in?
Real movie. That is a real movie. Yes. And I will not confirm nor deny that there's actually a sequel to it too now. There's a second one. But I will not confirm nor deny that it has the best nude scene of all time.
Since we're so early in the series, I have one last question to ask about Friday the 13th here. So with what we just touched on about Jason's passing or drowning or whatnot, should we even have had these movies?
Yes.
Because if he ended up surviving the drowning, how did Mama not know? Somebody had to have been taking care of him in the woods at this point, right? So she decided to just go get vengeance or revenge.
She was out for revenge, and she said that he drowned. She never said that they didn't resuscitate him.
Oh. But she says, "For my baby, they killed my baby. Let him drown."
Yeah. Maybe his dad was taking care of him.
Oh, you know what's funny about that? And I'll elaborate more when we get to the sixth one.
Vengeance.
That was supposed to be the end story after 6, leading into his father showing up.
Sir, I actually had the director on a couple years back.
Tom? Yeah, we talked to him.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Too. Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. So, but yeah, that was a cool thing to hear, and I wish I'll wait till we get to 6 because there's some stuff.
I get it.
There's some stuff. But listen, people, make sure you go follow every single one of these gentlemen that are in this episode with me. Jason over with 3 Geeks Podcast, Chris over with Worst Damn Gamer Ever, and Mick over with Scene Snobs. And check out the Scary Snobs as well with me and Jason. It's dope.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's dope.
So who won this episode?
I'm always gonna go vote for Jason, man. You already know that.
Okay.
I'm always gonna root for Jason. It's my favorite. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm with Jason on this one too.
All right, Jason, who are you with?
I'm with Jason. All
right, here we go. I know I gave it a lower rating, but I'm with Freddy on this one.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that.
Because of the creativity. I love Friday the 13th Part 2. And Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 is not, and I'm doing this for everybody who's cursing me out right now. But the creativity of the second one. Because as much as I love Friday the 13th Part 2, it gives us answers and it does some things, it's still essentially the same shit as the first one. And I'm okay with that. That's what I want. Mm-hmm. But at least for the second one and Freddy, you couldn't get Heather Langenkamp back. Wes Craven didn't want to come back. And you tried something very different for the 80s.
Super different, definitely.
So I got to go down 10 points on that.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's understandable. But we're gonna wrap this one up, people. Appreciate you all watching, subscribing, and all that great stuff. And most importantly, I did post the Cats for a Cause. The link is pinned to the top. Just check it out, people.
Check us out tomorrow. We're gonna be on Mick at Night.
Yes, Mick at Night and Scene Snobs anniversary is tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Make sure you go over there on that YouTube channel and check it out and give Mick his congratulations. Give the Scene Snobs congratulations because they're kicking ass. They're kicking ass. And,
chewing bubble
gum. We're gonna get out of here. I'll see you in your nightmares. Peace.
Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Watch Scary Snobs.